All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we've been doing is discovering formulas, how to figure out the area for the formulas. So let's look at number one. If we made a huge rectangle out of the three pieces, what would my area be for that big rectangle? So what would the height be? If I make a huge rectangle, what's the height of that rectangle? Y. Okay. And what's the base if I add z plus x? And we know that transfers to the area of a rectangle. And we've talked in the past that's like length times width. Right? We're just labeling, we're saying the length or the width is w, the length is x plus c. All right. Let's talk about 2. Do those two triangles fit perfectly in that rectangle? No. No. What would the area of a triangle be? 1/2 base times height. Or in this case, because they're not labeled B and H, it'd be 1/2 x times y. Okay? This is area of a triangle. Where did that half come from? It's half the size of a rectangle or a square. Okay. All right, parallelogram.
Wait, are the triangles the same area?
They are not because they're small. Not the same as the rectangle. Because they are smaller. You can just literally fit them inside, and you know that there's space left over. All right. Let's make our pieces on our paper look like a parallelogram. Okay? And how have we been finding area? Base times height or length times width? What is the length in this case of this parallelogram? X plus z. And what's the height? Y. It's not the slanted part, right? Yeah, you got to be careful of that with a parallelogram. All right? Is this the same area as the rectangle? Yes. Same area. We just simply took one triangle and moved it to the other side of the rectangle, right? Okay. Let's make our trapezoid. The trapezoid was tricky because you had to turn the triangle upside down. Okay. So, how many bases do we have? Are both the bases the same? No. What are the bases? I've got what? I've got z, and what's the other base? X plus z plus x. All right. Do you guys remember when we figured out the mid-segment? What did we do? We took both the bases and we added them together and we divided them by 2. So that's what we're going to do here. And why am I doing that? I've got 2 bases. One's really long and one's quite short. When I take 2 things and add them together and divide them by the number they're given, what is that called?
The mean.
It's the mean. It's the average. So I found the average of the bases. Let's combine like terms with z plus z. 2z plus 2x over 2. Okay? And what have I been multiplying? Once I found the bases, what have I been multiplying them by? Heights. And the height in this case is y. Okay. We also might see this written as 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. What'd you think? It's a struggle trying to discover it by yourself, huh? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Van Horsen is going to come around and pick up your rectangles and triangles. These discussion papers are going to go under notes, and we are going to look at today's notes.